إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا ومن يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah An-Nisa, ayah 75, وَمَا لَكُمْ لَا تُقَاتِلُونَ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. Why you do not fight in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Why don't you? وَالْمُسْتَعْدِفِينَ مِنَ الرِّجَالِ وَالنِّسَاءِ وَالْوِلْدَانِ. And for those people, for those men, for those women, for those children who are oppressed, who are weak, who do not have power, who are powerless, who do not find in themselves to defend themselves. Allazina yaquluna, those people are saying to their Rabb, Rabbana akhrijna min hadhihi al-qaryati zalimi ahluha. O our Rabb, O our Lord, O our Creator, take us out of this town. Take us out of this land. Take us out of this open air prison, whose people are very oppressive. These people are very powerful. These people have all the world with them. They have everything. They have overpowered us. They have overtaken us. وَجَعَلْ لَنَا مِن لَّدُنكَ وَلِيًّا وَجَعَلْ لَنَا مِن لَّدُنكَ نَصِيرًا. Send us from yourself a helper. Send us from yourself a protector. As we are getting ready to enter in the month of Ramadan, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us a life to enter into Ramadan and get the benefits. For a year and a half, as they call it, that we live in the most civilized society that ever existed on the face of earth. That's the claim. That there was no more civilized society that ever existed. In this civilized society, for a year and a half, those our brothers and sisters in Palestine, they were killed continuously every hour, every minute, every second. According to one media, American media, they killed about 70,000 people. And in those 70,000, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept the shahada. 70% of them were women and children. One wonders how this was possible. Nobody spoke. Nobody said a word about it. وَمَكَرُوا وَمَكَرَ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. They have their plans, and Allah has His plan. Indeed, Allah is the best planner. Our deen teaches us that we need to speak the truth. We need to stay with the haqq. And even if that truth goes against us, we still have to speak the truth. We may not practice the truth, but that's the bedrock of our deen. That's the bedrock of our faith. And it is the truth. That Israel would have not been as powerful Israel, as greater Israel, if it was not with the help of our own so-called Muslim kings, our own so-called Muslim presidents and prime ministers, and our own so-called Muslim scholars. They conspired with the Jews. They made it happen. And they stayed quiet. Did not say a word about it. Instead, they protected them. They protected the Jews. So one wonders how this will stop. What is the next step they will take? What Muslims are going to do? How they're going to protect themselves? Of course, those so-called kings and prime ministers are not going to call about stopping it or do anything about it. And at the same time, those superpowers of the world, they will not call about it either. They made it happen. They provided the manpower and they provided the weapons. They were in it. So how is it going to stop? Who is going to stop it? It will be stopped. It will be stopped by individual Muslims like you. One wonders, what can I do? One person. How can I stop it? And why is it my responsibility? I have even never been to Palestine. Like to bring example from the life of Sayyidina Ali. When he was Khalifa, some people came to him. And these people did not come to him to appreciate him or to give him encouragement. These people came to mock him. They came to insult him. They came to ridicule him. These people came to Sayyidina Ali and they said, when it was time of Umar radiallahu anhu, that when he was the Khalifa, Islam was flourishing. New and new lands were entering into the kingdom of Islam. People were taking Shahada in the large gatherings, in the large numbers. And so much money was flowing into the Medina that we Muslims did not know what to do with this money. And now that you are Khalifa, we have nothing but fitna. What a beautiful answer that wise man gave to them. And that is the answer for you and me for today. Sayyidina Ali replied them, when Umar was Khalifa, radiallahu anhu, he was surrounded by people like me. People like who? People like Sayyidina Ali. And now that I am the Khalifa, I am surrounded by people like you. People like those disrespectful people who came to talk to him. Today, Palestine is surrounded by people like you and people like me. Our action, our deed, what we do, it has effect on the brothers and sisters in Palestine, not only on them, but all over the world. Any Muslim, wherever he is, whatever he does, it has the action on him, on them. As this hadith which is narrated by Sayyidina Ramon bin Bashir, he said, the Rasulullah said, the Muslims are like one body of a person. If the eye is sore, the whole body aches. And if the head aches, the whole body aches. When we say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illahu wahdahu la sharika lah, wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh, we become that part of that one body. We cry, we feel the pain, we feel the hunger and the thirst of our brothers and sisters in Palestine, because we are part of that one body according to the hadith. We cried, we felt the pain and suffering of our brothers and sisters in Burma, who are still not allowed to go back to their homes, that when our sisters and daughters and our mothers were raped in Burma, and our brothers were burned alive in Burma, we cried and we felt the pain and suffering of our brothers and sisters who were buried alive in Syria, because we are part of that one body. Anything happens anywhere in the world that hurts the Muslim, we feel their pain. That's the side of the hadith that we know and that we talk about, or we understand. But there's the flip point of this hadith is that when I deliberately put my finger into the fire, my whole body is going to feel the pain and suffering also. If I eat good food, my body will feel strong. If I eat rotten food knowingly, I am going to get sick. When I do a good deed here, it has the effect on some other Muslim brother and sister in somewhere else in the world. My action, my deeds affect your family. Your actions, your deed affect my family, good or bad. So when we enter into Ramadan this year, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the opportunity to enter into the Ramadan, what can I do? Not only just in the Ramadan, then I can pick up something permanently that will have the effect not just on myself, but on the rest of the parts of my body also, as according to Hadith, our brothers and sisters anywhere in the world, and especially in Palestine. What can I do that will have the effect on our brothers and sisters who are suffering in India, where it is open season upon them? Our brothers and sisters in East Africa, where Muslims were not only killed, but their dead body was consumed as a meat, and it was not even in the newspapers. Muslim blood is cheap all over the world. Water has more value today than the blood of a Muslim. Then how can I change that? Especially when it's about to be entering into the month of the Ramadan. There are 5 recommendations. These are not just the recommendations of somebody. These are obligations upon us from the Quran and the Sunnah. We may not practice them, but they are obligatory upon all of us. Number 1, that I will take the oath, that I will decide that when I enter into Ramadan, or before I enter into Ramadan, or from today, that I am going to get out of the riba. I'm going to get out of the mortgages which are based on the riba. I'm going to get out of the car loan which is based on the riba. I'm going to get out of the personal loans or business loans which is based on the riba. One might say, how that is possible? Everything runs in the world on the riba. But one can do what is in his hands, what he can do. And it will not be possible, it will not be easy, no doubt about it. It will be possible with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Once you decide that I'm going to get out of it, then you reach out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Make dua continuously, make 2 rakah, and then make the dua, or make dua, whatever that, 24/7, or 1 time a day. whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you the tawfiq. And look for ways and the means to get out of riba. It will not be easy, but it is possible. It might take you 6 months, a year, 5 years. We don't know. But if you decide today and you continuously keep working on it and you die, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept your forgiveness and write it for your good deeds. On the other hand, it is possible. You can be successful. You don't know how long it will take, but it is possible. And it is not possible without the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You'll be sitting at home and Allah will send you help from the ghaib. The phone will ring and there will be knock at your door and there will be path for you to get out of riba. As the Quran says, the one who is involved in the riba, he needs to get ready for the war with Allah and His Rasul. How can we win if we are at war with Allah and His Rasul? Whether the winning in our personal affairs or the winning at the war, or winning with our children, or winning with our family. How can we do that if we are at war with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Rasul? Second obligation, second recommendation, stop selling alcohol and CBD and businesses like that. As they say, we live in the land of opportunity. Yet when a Muslim decides to go into business, he cannot find any other business but the gas station. And when he buys a gas station, he cannot run it without selling alcohol. We want our children to be the Hafaz. We want our children to be the scholars of Islam. We bring them to Sunday school. We do all kind of sacrifice for them. But we are raising them on the income which is coming from alcohol. We need to think about it. We are very smart people. But sometimes on some things we come and our smartness gives out. And indeed, it is possible with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Before we enter into the Ramadan, that I take my personal oath, my Allah knows and my heart knows, that I am going to get out of this business. Ya Allah, show me the path. Ya Allah, make it easy for me. Continuously keep reaching out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and look for the ways and means, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it possible for you. Third obligation, third recommendation, stop going towards the fornication. Committing fornication is a big sin. We need to stop thinking about it, stop looking at it, stop walking towards it. We need to make it easy for our children, our youth, to get married. There's a lot of pull for our youth in this society. As in Persian they say, Dar Javani Toba Kardam Shevai Pegamri. That when a young man makes a mistake and he realizes, and he comes back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he makes the tawbah. This action is as equal to as like a Nabi. Because it is so hard when you're young to stay away from the evil. And especially when you're 24/7 in a society like that. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have given you 4 or 5 children, if you marry your son or daughter and one more child comes into your family, Allah will send you risk for that person too. That person will bring his own risk. What is best if my son and my daughter-in-law goes to school together? They don't need to look at anybody else. If they go to college together, and the bonus on the top of that will be, as people seek for the time, they look for the vocations, they look for the opportunities to go and visit their sons and daughters and to see their grandkids. What a benefit it will be if you are helping them raise your children. You are 24/7 with your grandkids. That is the bonus on the top of that. We need to think about that. And we need to start working towards it if we have our children. And help other youth also. Make the arrangements for them to get married. Make it easy for them to get married. Number 4, watch what you eat and watch what you wear. Not just recommendation, it is also obligation. A lot of time we are very careful what we're eating, but we forget what we are wearing. And nowadays they are making the clothes which are very tight. And we used to complain that our sisters wear clothes which are too tight. And now men are wearing clothes which are too tight also. And the fabric they use to make those clothes, it is 10 times thinner than the paper. We are wearing clothes, yet we are completely naked. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have his rahmah and mercy upon the brother who's praying behind us, that sometime when we go into the sajda, we are completely naked and we even don't know about it. They make those pants so short, they make those shirts so short, and then sometime if we don't have the belt, one can only imagine if he's praying behind that brother. We need to think about it. We need to worry about it. That what kind of clothes I'm wearing 24/7, not just when I'm coming to the masjid. We cannot complain that they don't sell those clothes, the baggy clothes or something like that. And sometimes you meet those people, they have the earrings and nose pins and their purple hair and all kind of, and you look at their clothes, they're wearing those baggy clothes. When we look at them, we say, those are our clothes. I should be wearing those clothes. So they are available. We can buy them. There's no complaint that we cannot find clothes like that. Number 5. And as we enter into the month of Ramadan, this is the month of the Quran. Get to know the Quran. Bring the Quran al-Kareem into your life. If I do not know how to read the Quran with the correct pronunciation, let's take the oath today. Let's decide today. I am not going to wait until I enter into the Ramadan. I'm going to start today, start learning the Quran from the basic, from the alphabet, because I cannot read the Quran with the correct pronunciation. Or I cannot read the Quran at all. Even if you're 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years old, it doesn't matter. Sit down with the imam, with the teacher. Make 5 minutes, 10 minutes every day. Start learning the Quran from the alphabet. Cannot come to the masjid? Come on the weekend. Cannot come on the weekend? Find a teacher online. Cannot find a teacher online? Download your favorite qari. Hold the mushaf in your hand and start from the first ayah. Do not go to the next ayah until you get the first ayah right, even if it takes you a year. It doesn't matter. When we hold the mushaf in our hand, we need to shake from inside and outside. That this is the word of Allah Rabbul Izzah that I am holding in my hand. We are the only people on the earth who have the word of Allah Rabbul Izzah with them, without any change. Not a dot has been changed or added. And yet we are so unfortunate people that we have the word of Allah Rabbul Izzah with us, but we do not have the bounty, the super rich benefits that come with the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We do not have. If I already know how to read the Quran with the correct pronunciation, wonderful. It's time to learn the language of the Quran. Understand the Quran. Read it with the translation, read it with the tafsir. You're already doing this, wonderful. Implement it on yourself. You already implement on yourself and your family, wonderful. Now it's time for you to start a halqa. Help other brothers learn the Quran. As it is the asloob of the Quran, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala repeats those things again and again, the one Allah Rabbul Izzah wants us to focus upon. And this ayah has came 3 times, more than 3 times probably. And I'm just going to take an example from one ayah. Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrajat lin-nas. You are the best people that was ever brought up on the earth. You are the best of the best of the best. I am the best person on the earth. And this is how I'm being treated in Palestine or anywhere else in the world. I am ashamed. My business, my talk, my walk, my deeds are nothing like a best person on the earth. But Quran says that I am the best person on the earth that ever existed on the face of the earth. There's a condition with that. That's why we're not the best person anymore. تَأْمَرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَتَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ. That you invite people towards the good. And you stop them, you prevent them from committing evil, from committing wrong, from the wrongdoings. We do the easy part. We invite people towards the good. Sometimes I tell them good stuff which I may not be practicing myself also. But when it comes to the hard part, I certainly don't want to do it. People will not like me. People will see me coming and they will change your path because he's going to say something bad. People will not want to shake hands with me. They will not invite me to their home. If I invite them, they will not come. They will not let their children play with my children. I will become all alone. This condition we are not meeting. And that's why we are no longer the best people on the earth. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله. الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيبنا وحبيب رب العالمين أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم أصلح لنا ديننا الذي هو عصمة أمرنا وأصلح لنا دنيانا التي فيها معاشنا وأصلح لنا آخرتنا التي فيها معادنا واجعل الحياة زيادة لنا في كل خير واجعل الموت راحة لنا من كل شر لا إله إلا الله الحليم الكريم سبحان الله رب العرش العظيم والحمد لله رب العالمين نسألك موجبات رحمتك وعزائم مغفرتك والغنيمة من كل بر والسلامة من كل اسم لا تدع لنا ذنبا إلا غفرته ولا هما إلا فرجته ولا حاجة هي لك رضا إلا قضيتها يا أرحم الراحمين اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم انصر المجاهدين المستضعفين في فلسطين اللهم انصر المجاهدين في كل مكان اللهم ارزقنا صلاة في المسجد الحرام اللهم ارزقنا صلاة في المسجد النبوي صلى الله عليه وسلم اللهم ارزقنا صلاة في المسجد الأقصى اللهم احفظ لنا الأقصى اللهم ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وآله وأصحابه أجمعين آمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين عباد الله رحمكم الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون اذكروا الله يذكركم وادعوه يستجب لكم واستغفروا لذنوبكم إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. All the mistakes and the shortcomings in the khutbah are from me. If there was anything good in the khutbah, it is purely from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.